Welcome back. Now, this is the month of Ashad, and the Ashad Ekadashi is very famous all throughout our country. We have seen our parents, grandparents undertaking fasts and some kind of vrat from this day onwards for the entire 4 months of Chaturmas, those holy 4 months of the rainy season. Devashayani Ekadashi or Ashad Ekadashi is the day on which Lord Vishnu goes into a deep slumber or yoga nidra where he rests on the Sheshanag on the ocean of milk, the Kshira Sagara. During these holy 4 months, everybody does a lot of prayers, rituals and undertakes some kind of austerity. They hear stories about the Lord and spend these months thinking about Him. Another event which is very famous and which culminates on the Ashad Ekadashi is the Pandharpur Wari. This is a yatra or a pilgrimage where millions of devotees walk from various places and all converge in the holy town of Pandharpur. Now, why did Pandharpur become so famous? And the temple of Panduranga Vithala, which is there in Pandharpur, how did it come there? It was a Swayambhu idol, which means that the idol appeared or manifested on its own. There was nobody who actually carved or sculpted this holy idol. So let us hear that story today. In a forest known as Dindirvan, which was near Pandharpur, on the banks of the Chandrabhaga river, there lived a person known as Pundalik with his aged parents Janudev and Satyavati. Now, Pundalik might have been a good child when he was small, but as he grew up, he became very irresponsible and started disrespecting and disregarding his aged parents. Even after he got married, things took a turn for the worse, and his old parents were so fed up that they decided that they would leave their home and go to Kashi and spend their last days in that holy place. Now, when Pundalik and his wife came to know about it, they too decided to go along with their parents. However, it was not a good journey. They tortured their parents along the way, made them walk while they themselves sat and travelled on horseback. And in fact, whenever they stopped and rested along the way, the old parents would have to take care and groom the horses and even do all the odd jobs for their children. Now, the old parents cursed their luck and they did not know what was the reason that they were suffering so much. They were devotees of the Lord and yet their trouble seemed to never end. One night, when the pilgrims stopped along the route for rest, they were very near an ashram of a holy Swami, Kukuta Swami. While the others fell asleep immediately, Pundalik did not get sleep and so he was wandering about when he noticed three figures. They were three ladies who were dressed in very dirty clothes. They quietly entered the ashram of Kukut Swami and they began sweeping the yard. Then they washed the clothes of the Swami and finally went inside. When they came out of the hut, they shone because they were wearing bright colored, beautiful clothes decked with jewels, with radiant halos around their faces. They looked like goddesses descended on earth. And before Pundalik could ask them who they were, they disappeared. Now, Pundalik became very curious and so he decided to wait for another night. The next night, again he hid behind some bushes and quietly observed. These ladies had come. They were wearing dirty clothes, began the whole ritual all over again, sweeping the ashram of Kukut Swami, washing his clothes, going in and coming out transformed. He fell at their feet, accosted them and begged them to reveal their true identity. Now, they revealed that they were none other than Ganga, Yamuna, and Saraswati, the goddesses or the three holy rivers were called down just because of the purity of Kukutaswamy. And they said that every day thousands of people take a dip in the holy waters to wash away their sins. As a result, they themselves would get defiled. And to cleanse themselves, they would come here, wash the clothes of Kukutaswamy, do all the chores of the ashram, and that itself would restore their purity. Now, Pundalik was amazed, but there was more to come. They looked at him and said, You are the worst sinner of all. You disrespect, torture, hurt, humiliate your own parents. There is nobody as bad as you. Go away from us. Don't come near us. Pundalik was shocked. He now knew what a great sinner he had been. And so he fell at their feet and asked them to show a way out. Kindly, the three goddesses, the river deities, told him that to go and seek refuge at the feet of Kukutaswamy. He could be the guru who could show Pundalik the way. And this is exactly what Pundalik did. He sought refuge, surrendered at the feet of Kukutaswamy, who then told him that the most important duty was the duty towards one's parents. He said that parents come even before God himself. And he told Pundalik to spend the rest of his life devoted to his parents, and assured him that all his sins would be washed away and the Lord himself would be pleased. Now Pundalik was a changed man. When his parents woke up, they were pleasantly surprised to see that Pundalik, their son, was totally transformed. He was now so loving. He fell at their feet and asked them for forgiveness, and also took care of their every little need. He told his wife also to do the same, and then they proceeded towards Kashi. Now the parents would be seated on horseback, while both the children would lovingly take the parents forward. When they reached Kashi and took a dip in the holy Ganga and had a darshan of all the gods in the beautiful temples there, finally they decided to come back home. And so they traced their way back to Pandharpur. When they came back to their hut, Pundalik did everything that he could to look after all the needs of his aged parents. He would press their feet, fan them when they were asleep, lovingly feed them food, and look after every single wish of theirs. And all the time he would have the name of the Lord on his lips. Now one day, as he was pressing the feet of his father, Lord Krishna himself decided to visit him. Lord Krishna was at Dwaraka and he was wondering about all his devotees. In fact, his wife Rukmini had gone off somewhere and Lord Krishna had set out in search of her. After he found goddess Rukmini, both of them decided to pay Pundalik a surprise visit. And so it was that suddenly Pundalik heard a knock on the door. Who could it be? Who was this guest? At that time, Pundalik just peeped and saw that it was Lord Krishna himself at the doorway. But he could not leave the work that he was doing halfway because he was serving his father. And so he just told Lord Krishna to wait till he could finish what he was doing and then come to him. He also saw that the place where Lord Krishna was standing was very wet and muddy. And so seeing a brick nearby, he just flung the brick at Lord Krishna and told him to stand on it while he was waiting. Do you think Lord Krishna would have been angry at having had to wait? No. On the contrary, when Pundalik finally saw that his father had fallen asleep and he could now safely go and attend to Lord Krishna, Lord Krishna was standing there with a smile on his lips. With hands held at the waist, he was waiting patiently for his devotee to come. When Pundalik begged for forgiveness, Lord Krishna told him that no, I am very happy that you have served your parents so well. Ask for a boon and you shall have it. While Pundalik told the Lord that I have seen you, what more can I ask for? Still Lord Krishna insisted. And that is when Pundalik requested him, please stay here and continue to bless all the devotees who live here. Continue to look after them for ages to come. Krishna agreed immediately because the Lord always listens to the call of his true devotee. And that is how Lord Krishna stood rooted at that spot. He got the name of Vithoba. Vit means brick. Ubha means standing. He stood there standing on the brick with hands on his hips, with a smile on his lips, and continues to stand there even today, where millions of devotees go and take his darshan in the special temple at Pandharpur. Rukmini Devi also stands in a similar pose, and whenever we do visit Pandharpur, we must see both these idols, not forgetting a special temple which is dedicated to this great devotee who managed to bring the Lord to Pandharpur. Let us also pray that like Pundalik, we also may be able to serve our parents so well that the Lord himself is pleased. I hope you liked today's story, and if you did, do share it with your family and friends. And I will be back with another story next Thursday. Until we meet again, Hari Om.